Can you believe the actor who played Gaston in Disney's live action Beauty and the Beast was denied immediate access to meet Gaston, who was at the Magic Kingdom? The story will shock you. Stay tuned and find out.
With over 20 years of experience serving as a cast member for the Walt Disney World Resort, welcome to Less is More Disney.
Actor Luke Evans, just who is he? Well, he is one of the most influential and notable figures to come out of South Wales, England, and he's known for such roles in the films Dracula Untold, the Fast and Furious franchise series, The Hobbit, and for us Disney fans, he played Gaston in the live-action Beauty and the Beast movie. But to be honest, I've never heard of Luke Evans before I had him on tour. It's before the Beauty and the Beast movie came out a year prior, and Disney wanted to take him to Walt Disney World as a thank you gift to him. And so I was his tour guide, and I was excited because he's never been to Walt Disney World before. So the day that I picked him up, it was him and his friend, and we got to go to the parks together. I spent 2 days with him and his friend. Before I picked up Luke and his friend Micah at the Disney's Beach Club Resort where they were staying at, I wanted to come up with a game plan when I went to the office. So as a VIP tour guide, what we normally do before our tour starts is we go to the office, we pick up our keys for their vehicles, and we want to make sure it's show ready in the van or the Cadillac or Suburban. We also want to pick up any kind of information sheets that we have as far as what the plan is going to be for the day. Most times, the game plan is up to us as VIP tour guides. Sometimes they will tell us that this is what the family wants or this is what the celebrity wants to do. But aside from that, it is up to us VIP tour guides to form a plan as we go along when we meet the family. And the first impressions are very important because that's when we ask them what they want to do for the day or for the whole week that they're there. And as we go along, we, as tour guides, when we go to the parks, we kind of navigate on which attraction sounds like the first great attraction to go to first. And then after that, it kind of like trickles on to what's the next attractions available next to us, or what seems to be the least crowded attraction around that time that we go to the parks. So it's very strategic in how we go around the parks. But as tour guides, we're pretty much experts in knowing when to go to those attractions and where. So upon picking up Luke and his friend Micah, that's the game plan that I had to pick was which park should we go as a great first impression for people who's never been to Walt Disney World. And of course, it's 9 out of 10 times the Magic Kingdom. So when I got to the resort, I picked them up, I introduced myself, and they were so nice. They introduced themselves, shook my hand, and I told them that I wanted to take them to the Magic Kingdom, and they went with it. As we got to the Magic Kingdom, the first attraction or the first land that I wanted to show them while walking down Main Street USA with the iconic castle, I wanted to take them to the new Fantasyland. So we went there first. It was about 10 in the morning, so it wasn't too crowded in the parks. As we got to the new Fantasyland, they saw Snow White's Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and that caught their eye, so that was the first attraction that we went to. When we got on the attraction itself, in the middle of the attraction, there's a part where the train comes out of the tunnel and you see Beast's Castle and Gaston's Tavern. And so Luke turned to me while we were riding the attraction and he asked me what land that was. And I told him that's Gaston's Tavern there. And he, of course, got excited because he plays Gaston in the new Beauty and the Beast live action film. And at that time, it wasn't released yet. It was a year before it was released. So a lot of people were, the movie was just so hyped up before then, but Luke told me it took a while to make this film because of all the CGI in the film that they had to go through, which was why it took forever for the film to come out. And Micah and Luke were doing their thing, taking photos in front of Gaston's Tavern. I wanted to walk over to the Gaston meet and greet area. Whenever Gaston does his meet and greets, there's always a long line of guests because he is a fan favorite. Gaston interacts with the guests and he does his great thing of being mean to them, but in a fun way, which is why the guests love that. So I walked to the area when, of course, there was already a long line for that early in the morning. And I went up to his character attendant, the person that watches over Gaston while he's on stage doing meet and greets. And I asked the character attendant if it was possible for us to have a special meet and greet with Gaston, because I have the actor who will play him in the upcoming Beauty and the Beast movie. And the cast member told me that it was possible to, however, he would just have to wait in line. I had to explain to him that he is a celebrity, and it's our job as VIP tour guides to make sure that the tours or celebrities are not being bothered, or that we don't cause any attention, just for safety reasons. We don't want people to trample over each other, or we just don't want the guests to bother or harass the celebrities. So I asked them if it's possible, after our Gaston meet and greet, if it's possible just to kind of sneak in to do a quick photo, or even while Gaston is doing his thing on stage, we can just kind of bypass the line and just do a quick photo. And the cast member there denied our request and said that if there was a special meet and greet that they wanted, that we would have to go through special events, because that's how the proper way of working, of how it works. You have to contact Disney special events for it. And of course, I wanted to respect the cast member, so I didn't push the issue at all. But I asked him that, hey, is it possible though, then like after his set is over, I can just sneak by for a quick photo with him? And he said, no, we just have to leave once we finish our set. And Luke came over to me at that point, because he was waiting for at least 10 minutes while I was trying to talk to the cast member. And he noticed that it was me and the cast member just trying to work things out. So Luke asked if there's a problem. And I said, no, there's no problem at all. But if we want to meet Gaston, we just have to wait in line, that seemed like about a 45-minute line at that point. And Luke Evans just turned to me and says, no, that's okay. We don't have to see him. And Luke turns to the cast member and says, it's your loss, and walks away. But the cast member did go up to us after, while we were walking away, and he said, hey, if you want to see Gaston, if you don't want to wait, then just camp out about 20-30 minutes before he comes out on his next set. And at that point, Luke says, no, it's fine, and just walks away, and we carried on to do attractions at the Magic Kingdom. Walking away, in my mind, I was thinking, this was a missed opportunity. I mean, how cool would it be to have Gaston taking a photo with Gaston? And that would have been a cool story. But the next day, I found out when I went in the office, my good friend Justin went to me before I started my second day on tour with Luke, and he says, hey, I heard what happened. And I was confused because I didn't tell anyone about our situation that happened the day before at the Magic Kingdom. And he said, no, my good friend, he's friends with Gaston on that set. He said that he saw Luke Evans from afar, and he really wanted a photo with Luke Evans. However, he didn't want to be out of character and stop the character attendant from doing his job. So he just maintained professionalism and just let the character attendant do his thing. But Justin's friend was kind of bummed about the fact that it was a missed opportunity. But oh well. The photo of him anyway in front of Gaston's Tavern just lives in my memory to this day, that it's good enough of a souvenir, right? But the next day, I took Luke and his friend Micah. We went to Disney's Hollywood Studios, and we did the big attractions, the Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith, the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, and other cool attractions. So after Disney's Hollywood Studios, we headed over to Epcot, where we walked around the countries, and we also got to do some of the attractions there. One of their favorites was Test Track, which we did twice before heading back to the resort. So when I dropped them off at their resort, before we said our goodbyes, Luke wanted a photo of us three with a selfie, which I hold dearly to this day. And a year later, Disney's Beauty and the Beast live action came out, and I was just so proud of Luke and what a great job he did as Gaston. Well, thank you for watching this episode. If you like this episode and you want to subscribe to my channel, please hit like and hit subscribe. But till next time, thanks for watching.